Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. I know I'm just being behind all week this week. Sorry about that. But just to give an update, it's coming from Tisa Tales YouTube channel. She's at the courthouse. Uh y'all know Kid Cudi testified today. Everybody know, probably didn't heard it. But this is just a recap of things that went on today. Um so please hit the don't forget y'all, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. Also hit the bell if you want to be notified when Valentine TV goes live or does her reactions, that do my reactions. Um okay. All right, let's just go ahead and get into it, okay? I'm trying to catch up, right?
To Kid Cudi. I ran out of the courtroom early. I was like, yo, how do you feel? Because he was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, yo, how do you feel? And he was like, yo, I think I'm he was like, listen, I think I'm like, he was like, excuse me? And I was like, you know me. I was like, so you happy to have this over? And then right then and there, the federal marshals came in and said, shut it down. They were like, that's enough. And then they brushed him on the elevator. And then they told me, like, you wait for the next elevator. And I said, okay, fine. I'm probably going to be talked to after work. But let me just tell you one thing. Kanye West should be ashamed of himself. Kid Cudi was so down to earth, so nice, so sweet, so candid, so confident. I see what Cassie saw. On top of that, he literally wanted us to know that the things that he did. Now, prior to Kid Cudi testifying, there was all this stuff about whether they can talk about the dog, because apparently when they broke into his house, and they did break into his house, they took his dog. Other stuff they wanted to talk about was, Brian still did the cross-examine. I'm gonna get into everything. Also, the witness that they gave immunity to, yeah, the vibes were off. The vibes were weird.
Yeah, there was a wasted immunity in the way I saw it. I mean, that it's like the way Nick at Night was talking about him and Diddy, looking at each other saying, yeah, yeah. Uh, you know, so I don't know. I don't know if that he just wanted to get so he wouldn't go to prison. That's why he done signed that thing, and he didn't really give nothing to my. He's the god of men. He saw Diddy as the god of men. Man, he done lost his mind. Let's go ahead. All right, come on, Tisa. Okay, she's coming, y'all. Sorry. Let me go hit this.
The vibes were, are you serious? He literally said, and this is the people the prosecution gave immunity to. Kid Cudi did vindicate Cassie. We're going to get into his testimony in a second, but this was the guy that they actually gave immunity to. And he referred to Sean Diddy Combs as a god among men.
Exactly.
He said that Diddy not only pushed him to the depths that he didn't know he had, but he helped him push him to the depths and helped him grow as a man, and referred to Sean Diddy Combs as a god among men. A god among men. It was a really uncomfortable Diddy Combs. It was a really uncomfortable testimony, right? It was really, really, really uncomfortable testimony, right? And on top of that, the fact that the testimony was so uncomfortable, but also to the fact of he was almost like a super fan that Diddy had actually hired, okay? He was almost a super fan that Diddy had actually hired. Now listen, let me
that's what I was talking about, y'all. It's like it I don't know. That one seemed a little shaky to me. It seems a little shaky.
see what I can do, because I was running out the house today. It was raining, cats and dogs. I had my umbrella. All this stuff happened. But let's actually get into like the actual meat of it, okay? First of all, Kid Cudi's testimony, because that's what you guys came to hear, right? Kid Cudi told a crazy story. He said he received around 5:30 or 6 a.m. A fevered text, a phone call from Cassie, being like, oh my God, Diddy found out about us. Now he did say They were like, how'd you feel? And he's like, I was shocked because I didn't know she was dealing with him anymore. Now, of course, they tried to paint Cassie out as she was a two-timer. She was this suicide. I will stand firm on this. I don't care how much you say. Why is everybody acting like Diddy is a god among men?
There you go. There you go.
Get it. Cassie could have been two-timing Kid Cudi with Diddy. They were on again, off again. Cassie says she wasn't. I'll tell you what, I really don't care. Because since when is two-timing someone? How in the world does that justify blowing up someone's car and breaking into someone's house? Okay. So anyway, she gets a thing and she was like, yo, they're in your house. Cudi is like, what? So then Capricorn Clark, the assistant, calls and says, yo, they're in your house. Tonya says, great reporting. I have a lawyer, husband, and son. Okay, tell Esquire said, what's up? So they're like, so then he gets a fever call from Capricorn Clark. Say Capricorn Clark sounds super, super scared. What's up, Daisha Jones? She was like, they were like, yo, they're in your house. So then the prosecution was like, what you do next? And he was like, I called Diddy. They said, where did you get Diddy's phone number from? He said, I'd actually had Diddy's number from years before, right? Just, in the industry. So he calls Diddy. Diddy picks up the phone. They said, what do you say? He said to him, MFer, are you in my house? We all giggled. He was like, MF, are you in my house? Diddy was like, yo, where you at? He was like, MF, are you in my house? He was like, yo, where you at? And he was like, I'm on my way home. And he was like, word, I'll be waiting for you. So Cudi rushed to his house. He gets to his house. Now, he says he has security cameras that are angled on his house at all times. When he got there, the security camera was turned the other way, right? He goes into his house. His dog, and he's very close to his dog. His dog was locked in the bathroom, and he lets his dog roam free. He opens the door. His dog comes out. He's acting all scared. Mind you, Brian Steele was trying to limit the testimony about the dog, because he's like, there might be some dog lovers, and I guess they feel like if it's proven that they traumatized Kid Cudi, dog, that there would be dog lovers, and they would hit it.
Man, I bet Peter all on it. Peter and all the animal lovers. Yeah, and I'm vegan too. But anyway, the point of the matter is, I bet Peter and the animal, everybody's all on that. Okay, she's coming, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me see. Let her catch up. Okay. All right, here we go, y'all.
Hey, Kid Cudi, okay? Yeah. Anyway, so he lets the dog out. His dog is real jittery. His dog is like jumping all over him. Then he said nothing in the house was stolen at all. However, he had bought Christmas gifts for his family. This is around Christmas time. He had bought Christmas gifts for his family from the Chanel store. And those Christmas gifts were open, but nobody took anything. Okay. So that's also very, very, very weird. Okay. All right, so he's doing that. Now, he is enraged that people have broken into his house. And I get it, because you came into someone's house. Cudi even said at that moment he realized Diddy had crossed the line. At that moment, he realized Diddy had crossed the line. Now, he then went to go, he went to go get, no. So in between that, he went and picked up Cassie, because he said Cassie was super, super, super scared. He picked up Cassie and he took her, I think, to the Mirage Hotel to keep her safe, right? Now, mind you, he said he was in love with Cassie. He said they had a relationship. He said that even though Diddy tried to make it seem like they fell in love while he bought Cassie studio time, Kid Cudi was very, very quick to say that's not true. That studio time was in the studio time was in 2010. Hold on, it's in New York. Diddy, your ride's here. Anyway, they said, listen, they said that studio time was in 2010. And he was like, in 2010, when we were in the studio, we literally were just really like friends. Like, that was the homegirl. There was absolutely nothing going on in 2010, right? Absolutely nothing going on. Okay, so really quick, also J Mimuna MB said, great reporting, Tisa. Thank you so much. Also, Darlene Colbert Turner, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Shinalika Benencourt. Bentoncourt said, I've been listening. Oh, Miss Bentoncourt, I remember Shanika said, I've been listening to Tisa's Truth ever since she stated that Oprah told Fantasia not to bother with Whoopi. Truth warrior. Also, Life Lessons and Lying said, thank you to you. That fool Diddy is going down. Now, hold on, because there was another witness, too, that I don't know if the prosecution should have given him immunity. Peter Hernandez said,
Right.
thank you, T. That fool Diddy is
Sorry,
going down.
y'all.
Oh, also, thank you, B, for deleting that message. Okay, so, where were we?
Okay.
So, Cassie, he picked up Cassie and he took her someplace safe. And then he ran to his house. That's when he went. He found his dog. He was furious. Furious. He was also confused because he was like, I thought this girl wasn't with Diddy. Now, mind you, then he went to go look for Diddy. He went to his car and he was like, yo, where are you at? This and that. And Diddy was like, yo, I'm coming to you. He was looking for him. Diddy still wasn't in the house. Now, mind you, okay, Kid Cudi then said at that time that he said, hold up, let me think about this. He said, I know I'm mad, but I don't know if this fool got a gun. I don't know who's with him. I need to fall back. They said, what'd you do? He said what he should have did. He said, I called the police, and he made a police report. Now, he made a police report. He said the police came over. They logged in the break-in. Again, I'll get to cross an examination.
I'm glad he called the police that way. Now it is all on record. Yes. Kid Cudi wasn't playing with him. Not even Brian Steele. No.
Cross-examination in a second, because you know Brian Steele, he was trying to muddy the waters, this and that. Then he said Diddy kept calling him after he called the police. Diddy kept calling him. I was like, we need to meet. So Kid Cudi in his mind was like, I don't got anything to say to you. You crossed the line. You went to my house. You messed with my dog. I literally have nothing to say to you. Get out my face. He was like, Kendrick, I feel good. Get that my face. He was like, get out my face.
Right.
Okay. Diddy kept calling him, trying to meet up. Okay. Now, Philadelphia said, you're killing the game. Make sure you take your vitamins. You cannot get sick now. Exactly. It's too much. I can't turn back now. Okay. So he was like, okay. Diddy kept asking. He was like, man, I don't got nothing to say to you. You crossed the line. Then all of a sudden, he was at his ex-girlfriend's sister's house. Okay. And he got a call from his dog sitter. Again, this man loved his doggy, but anyone that's ever had a dog, it's like, yeah, you got to love your dog. They're like another child. They're like a 3-year-old that never grows up. He said that he got a call from his dog sitter. And the dog sitter was like, oh, my God, and sent him pictures of he had a Porsche 911. His Porsche 911 was on fire. Okay, and they show pictures. It was a Porsche 911. Somebody went. Oh, if you guys don't know, I tried to get the scoop from y'all from Kid Cudi. I actually got in trouble with the U.S. Marshals. I don't think I'm supposed to talk about the witness, but I'm not pressed. So I just said, yo, how was testimony? I got his attention. I woke up late, but I looked good enough to get his attention, so I censored over there and like, hey, and he was like, huh, what's up? And he leaned his ear in, and I was like, so how'd testimony go? How'd you think? Blah, 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 blah. And he was about to answer, but the marshal was like, get out, like, that's enough. And I was just like, he rolled his eyes at me so much, and I see him in court all the time. I'm sure I'm going to get lectured. But you know what? You only miss the shots you don't take, okay? So I tried to get an exclusive for y'all, but it didn't actually work.
Thank you, Tisa. You tried, girl. She gonna always try now.
But he was about to answer. And listen, I will say one thing. He was a great, great witness. Super honest, super forthcoming, super everything. Okay, so Leonie say, let's go. Yes, Vision, waiting on you. Okay, so
look, I thought the way it was sounding at the beginning, I thought Cudi was a darn wimp. But don't sound like it to me. Don't sound like not Diddy scared. He won't do no one-on-one.
Oh, we're back to he's getting a call from his dog sitter. There is a picture of his Porsche. They cut open the top of his Porsche and threw a Molotov cocktail. That is a bottle they put with fluid and then like, I don't know, t-shirt inside. I remember from seeing it on the Bronx Tale. If y'all ever saw that movie, apparently the racist Italians were throwing Molotov cocktails because there was an interracial couple and they couldn't take it. I saw that movie 4 years ago. I said, wow. Prophetess Aaliyah as Brew, Body of Christ said, love your courage. The blood of Christ was with you. Okay, so back to the scene. They sent him pictures. The car was whatever. They're like, how do you know it was Malto? He said, because I saw like the bottle, when he opened it, the bottle fell to the ground. The inside of the interior was all burnt up. Okay. It was all burnt up. At that point, Cuddy was like, yo, this gotta stop. This is getting out of control. And that's when he called Diddy, and Diddy was picked up. Diddy picked up, and he's like, yo, you gotta meet. We gotta meet. So Cuddy was like, all right, let's meet at Soho House. Now, back then, Soho House had meeting rooms on the bottom level. I don't think they have meeting rooms anymore. But back then, Soho House had meeting rooms on the bottom level. Right? Okay, bet. Oh, also, Nana said, you're doing a great job. Who was that cutie pie next to you with all the tattoos when you had a white skirt, white top, and saw in a clip with another blogger? Love from Belgium. By the way, my name's Nadia. Coffee on me. Nadia, thank you so much. I only see the truth in the trial. I got a man, so I do not know what cutie pie you were speaking of. I just know my man wasn't standing next to me, and that's the only man I see. Blinders. Okay. Happy said, seriously speaking, take some time out today and pray. Discernment is real, and prayer works.
Okay. I done figured it out now, y'all.
Or whatever. So Leonie said, sorry, Tapio. Oh, I truly appreciate you for giving this to us. Thank you. Sheila Delphio.
Yeah, I have to let her catch up, y'all. I be pushing the buttons too fast. I'm figuring it out. I'm learning.
Welcome to the Tattletale family. Natasha said, for all the doggy lovers, P.S. We're 2 weeks into the trial. Let them build in line. But Peter, I'm glad that he's looking at his car. His friends and his dog center are sending him images of his car. He rushes home. He sees his burn up car. He's like, this has gone long enough. He called Diddy. Diddy picked up, and he was like, we got to talk about this. They meet at the Soho House. Back then, the Soho House in Hollywood, West Hollywood, had meeting floors on the first room, right? First floor. They go into the meeting rooms. All right, bet, right? He says when he walked in, right? Let me see if I can actually show y'all. Hold on. He said when he walked in, Diddy is sitting there, looking out the window like this. Just because they said there's big floor-to-ceiling windows. Diddy is sitting there looking with his hands behind his chest, back, looking out the window. He said like a GD Marvel supervillain. He said that Diddy came in. And when he got in, Diddy was already in there, and his hands were behind his classmate, like he was Lex Luthor or a Marvel supervillain, just looking out the floor-to-ceiling windows. Okay. Ashley C said, what happened to Aubrey O'Day? Aubrey did not get subpoenaed to testify. Eva Philippa Watson said, you need hot soup tea. So, me. Oh, thank you guys for looking out. Table Talk with Mimi exclusive.
Sorry, y'all.
Beauty. Thank you so much for the super chat. And also Horatius, thank you for the super chat. All right. So, right. So what happened, right? Oh, Open Vic said, you're doing an awesome job, Tisa. So he's looking out the window. Floor-to-ceiling one's like a super villain. And they were like, what was he like? And he was like, it was weird. He was so calm. It was super weird. Black Sheep 19 said, I want the Wonder Woman hair tells and keeps us updated. Y'all know. Gonna have a Wonder Woman half wig if that's one thing I do. I was running so late today. I'm glad I got out the house. Sweet Tea said, who is next on the stand? Is it the cook? No, it's a janitor. We're gonna see what he says. Bold and Red said, thanks for the updates. Look forward to them while driving. Okay, so he said Diddy's super calm. He ain't know what to think. He's super calm, okay? And Diddy offers him water 2 times, but Kid Cudi ain't stupid. And he said, no, thank you. He offered him water the second time. He said, no, thank you. Now, Black Alley Scam Cat said, how do you DNA test fire? So if you guys don't know, right? So then he said that Diddy talked to him, this and that. He said Cassie showed up later, right? And he said he was really disappointed that Cassie was back with Diddy because she had been abused and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And she was basically choosing Diddy. Now, we had the expert testify yesterday about why that happened. Right. But even then, I'm like, why is everybody trying to make like cheating is punishable by death? Because I will stand 100% by this. You cannot cheat on someone that got hoes. You cannot cheat on someone that has a harem. I'm sorry. For anybody that got hoes, you can't get cheated on.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You dating somebody and they got somebody on the side. Then you mess up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't even dating at that point to me. That's not dating. This nobody was dating nobody. Everybody was just seeing everybody. That's the way they go.
You're not in a real relationship because you have
No,
hit the
not at
default
all.
button that we are not in a real relationship. I refuse to go into that thing about, oh, well, he was cheating, but still, yeah, no, and still nothing. I ain't have a real relationship, right?
Tisa's absolutely right. I don't care about what nobody else has to say. She is absolutely right on that regard.
Malika Garrett, thank you so much for the super chat. Linda Walker, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. So Miss Wise Eyes Open said, you're doing an outstanding job, Tisa. Thank you for first super chat. I appreciate. Thank you so much, Mama. And Tony B said, keep it coming, Tisa. Okay. So they said they have a talk, right? And they're talking about like, yo, why'd you do that, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Diddy never denies anything. Okay. He didn't deny he wasn't in the house. He didn't deny he blew the car up. So then when they were leaving, Cuddy said he grabbed Diddy's hand like this. Like he grabbed Diddy's hand like, yo, right? And he was like, yo, what's up with my car? Right? He was like, what's up with my car? And he said, Diddy looked him dead in the eye and kind of smirked and was like, what car? And Cuddy grabbed his hand more and was like, you didn't do anything to my car? And Diddy looked right at him and was like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. And Cuddy said he snatched his hand back so quick. And Diddy was like, yo, what was that about? I thought we was cool. I thought we was cool. And he was like, yo, you acting like you didn't do anything to my car. No, we not cool. And they left it on that. So, oh my God, Bree, thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate that, Bree. Oh, also, Gwendolyn Light said, we'll send you more. Oh, thank you, Gwendolyn. This is more than enough. I appreciate it. We'll send you more when I can. I appreciate your work. I mean, if you want to pay, I'm sure you can pay him to guard you while y'all eat dinner. Anyway, Nana 7, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Lady LaRae Zinner said the audacity to expect exclusivity when you don't provide it exactly. Also, Table Taco Meaning Exclusive said, thank you for the shout out. You have me at Jack. Thank you so much. One last super chat, unless y'all send more. I said, let's send Tisa money in our Cash App because YouTube takes half of our super chat money. Love you, Tisa. Thank y'all. Yes, that's a dirty little secret about YouTube. Okay, so what ended up happening, right? Oh, also the legendary Kind, thank you for gifting a membership. So Kid Cudi was like, he was off of Diddy after that. And he said that Diddy, they actually ran into Soho House years later, and Diddy was his daughter. And he walked up to Kid Cudi and was like, yo, I'm going to apologize. And he was like, apologize for what? He's like, apologize for all that. I was wrong. No, he still never paid him for his car. And Kid Cudi, man, he is such like a Zen energy. Right? Kanye should be ashamed messing with him because I see now what people were saying, like, why are you messing with? Remember when Kanye West was going after Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi was friends with Pete Davidson? And after meeting Kid Cudi in person, he is such a chill person. He's one of those people that, like, why are you messing with him? First of all, he's not a punk at all. He don't give timid energy, but he's that type of person where like he ain't trying to start nothing with anybody. He's just standing in his own energy, minding his business. So the fact that Kanye get up there, I see why all Kid Cudi's fans were like, why are you fucking with Cudi? He don't bother no one. Like, you got a problem, Kanye. And then later on, a couple years later, we found out, yes, Kanye was in fact the problem. Anyway, Kid Cudi was like, after that, oh my God, thank you, Misha Emmons, for the super chat. Okay, Cash App. So anyway, after that, he said that he let it go because he was like, yo, he apologized. He had let it go. It was years back. And, he doesn't want to live with that type of energy. I said, okay, I see what Cassie saw in him. So what ended up happening? After that? So the cross-examiner gets up. Brian Steele of YSL fame starts questioning him. And he was like, well, are you aware that there were female fingerprints? Can it, right? Thank you, Lisa B. Thomas, for the Cash App. I don't know, Cash App is tripping right now. They be thinking y'all donating to a terrorist, and it's just me. Anyway, right? They said that, wait, you know what?
She didn't thought of
Anyway, sorry. So anyway, they said that Diddy, so they were like, yo, you were aware that there was an investigation where they found female DNA that had opened your car and put the Molotov cocktail in? And Cudi was like, I never heard that. And the prosecution was like, objection. We don't know if it is true or not, but that doesn't mean they couldn't have gotten a girl to do it. Then they were like, well, how do you know that Diddy broke into your house? He's like, because 2 people called me and told me it was Diddy. Well, did you see him? No. Were there any fingerprints? No. What happened to that investigation? And he was like, I don't know, but it was Diddy, and he apologized to me about it. He also cleared up the fact that Cassie and him were not messing around when they got studio time. So that means this whole lie that Diddy made up about the reason he blew up Kid Cudi's car is because him and Cassie were cheating after they got a studio time. He said they got in studio time in 2010. This was 2012, and Diddy was off because as much as Kid Cudi was like, yo, Cassie played both of us, Diddy's team already testified that when Diddy threatened to leak a tape and expose her and all this other stuff, they weren't together. That means that when she was with Kid Cudi and stepping out, they were not together. Lena Engel, thank you so much for joining the family. Paige's mama said, girl, you look great.
That was the proof right there, y'all. That was the proof. She wasn't even with Diddy. That's why he extorted her darn mama for that darn 20 grand.
Is dragging Diddy. Mr. Master Mistake Maker said, you're coughing. Be careful what you drink. Someone might try to poison you. I don't drink anything while I be here.
I know this.
Covering you with the blood of Jesus. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so the prosecution was good on, because Brian Still's very good. And he did it. And I get they were trying to do doubt, but come the FO. And you got Cassie telling you Diddy in your house. You got Capricorn Clark, and then somebody's in your house. And also the prosecution was like, have you ever had problems before then? No. And then you see Kid Cudi's interview. He did look like a rock star. He came in with a biker jacket, walking proud. I see what Cassie saw in him. He's very charismatic, you know? And he has a way around him that's very gentle, but not like he's a punk. Just calm, soothing energy, you know? Erica Gabriel, thank you so much for the super chat. He said him and Cassie were in love. He said he really wanted to protect her, and he was mad that Diddy was putting his hands on her. Okay. The prosecution was trying to make it seem like it could have been anyone. And Kid Cudi was like, come to F on. It can't be no one. He did say that he's never had a problem since then. Diddy was the only thing. And once he ended with Cassie, he never had a problem again. Ingrid Betts, thank you so much for the super chat. B. Will said, great work, Tisa. Keep up the good work. Thank you. And also Bernice Graham. So she was in the car the whole time, calling, scared, talking about get out of there. Nicodemus says, Tisa, you're so...
She talking about Capricorn Clark was in the car the whole time, y'all. I know I skipped that part. Sorry about that.
I've ever seen. When I say weird, I mean weird. Leanne Engel said, killing it, giving us a deets. Now, I left my notes upstairs, but let me just tell you my takeaway. He got on stand and he said that he saw him not only beat Cassie 2 times, but also Gina. He said that with the Cassie stuff, the first time he heard all this glass going, they were on the private jet. He walked into the room. Cassie had her legs up, trying to create space between Diddy.
She talking about when Kaplan now was on the stand, you know.
She was on the floor. Diddy had a cut crystal whiskey glass. You know those are heavy, right? In murder mysteries, they kill people with whiskey glasses. And he was throwing it at Cassie while she was on the floor. Cassie... The whole plane was full of Diddy's entourage. Cassie screamed, does anybody see what's going on here? Everybody ignored it. He said he felt so bad, but they're like, why didn't you do anything? And he was like, because I was young. I was like, at the time of my life, Diddy was a god among men.
No.
And that's the first time I said, there's something wrong with this man.
Yeah.
Diddy was a god among men. What are you talking about? Anyway, Blue Sunshine said, great work, Tisa. Thank you so much. Also, Life is Notorious said, only the incels and envious pick-me's are on Diddy's side. And people may be paid off. I'm just saying, Diddy's team is making inroads with that media access. I'm just saying. Hey, how are you, Mama? Hey,
bring you something because I know.
Hold on, really quick. Say hi.
Hi. I've been following you, trying to come out here every day.
Oh, thank
Yeah, I'm gonna let this play because this was so nice of Melissa.
you.
I know your fans been telling you about how you hold your phone and they dizzy.
Yeah.
I bought this for you.
What'd you get me? Oh my God, what's your name, Mama?
Melissa.
Look, Melissa.
I've been
Y'all
following you.
shamed her into helping me. Lenora Jackson said, you rock, Tisa. Thank you so
I
much.
got this for you.
Oh
Tisa,
my
so you can hold
God.
it. I want you
Oh,
to hold
Mama,
it.
thank you
I don't
so
want you
much.
like
I
that.
really appreciate it.
Look
Look what she got me, you guys. Oh, thank you so much.
Let me get you something hot to drink. I'll go to Starbucks and get it for you.
I'm about to go back in, but thank you
right.
so much. Message me on Instagram so we can
I
follow each other.
will,
I really
for sure.
appreciate you.
Do you want me to set that up for you while you hold it?
No.
Right.
I'm gonna curse them out because they always embarrassing me.
Yeah,
Don't
but
tell
you
me.
know what?
Thank you so much. Oh my, and what was your name again, Mama?
Melissa.
Melissa.
Loves you.
Oh, thank you. Look what Melissa got me. Y'all literally shamed me into getting this. Wow. But thank you, Melissa. All right. Alexia said the prosecution lost me a bit with Dawn Richards. Okay. So no, Dawn Hughes, I was in the courtroom. Dawn Hughes had the jury like this. That was the SMEX expert. Okay. All right. This is so much love. Melissa, thank you so much. So all y'all talking about Tisa, why you holding the phone in your hands? Dawn has got me right. The next commercial break, we will have this. Okay. Also, Janae Humphrey said, oh my gosh, we have to get Kid Cudi here with you. I'm gonna try. Now I left out the house looking a mess, but when I said, excuse me, he leaned in to see what I had to say. I said, I ain't Cassie, but baby, I can get your attention. Anyway, right? Beatrice Aguayano said, thanks, Tisa, for all the updates. You are amazing. You guys give so much love to Melissa. This was so sweet of her to do. So sweet. All right. Also, Naomi Violet said, love all that you do. You bring it. And VMN said, love you, Tisa. Keep up the good work. Also, Cher Mayo said, Tisa, you're the best. Love you, girl. Thank y'all. Okay, so listen, right? You think I'm not? Please. And y'all see my Instagram. He might be curious about like the interview, got a few beach pics there. Anyway, y'all follow me on Instagram if you're not. Okay, so let me get back to it because I got to go into the room. So anyway, this guy said that he was so traumatized. Oh, he said the second time he saw Cassie, Diddy called him into the room and Cassie was sitting there whimpering with her hands over her face. And Diddy had him go to CVS to get some stuff that takes swelling down her face because she had a huge black knot on her forehead and all this other stuff. And he said he was so shaken by it. He said he was shaken by what he saw, especially with the whimpering and stuff. But here's the thing. Wow. Y'all want to know what the RICO is? And I talked about this with Dreams. A lot of people think RICO is bodies on the ground.
Y'all, please pay attention to the RICO.
Blood on the walls, murder, right? No. RICO in modern times is very boring. It's very unsexy. It's very one corporate charge after another. One commingling of funds. He said that for the stuff that he used to fix Cassie's face, right? He literally had used his corporate card to pay for it. Combs Global corporate card. What does that mean? I know y'all think it's unsexy. I know a lot of people think it's not the smoking gun. It is. Again, they're building the foundation. By using that corporate card to buy things to help hide Diddy's abuse of Cassie, you have now commingled funds. You've shown that even if you use $1, you are using your corporate funds to actually cover up. On top of that, when it comes to forfeiture, and federal forfeiture is if you're found guilty of the RICO, they get to take anything you used in furtherance of the criminal organization. That charge for witch hazel and a bunch of first aid stuff. Isn't it funny that Diddy had stripper heels? Was he wearing them himself? Diddy had lube. Diddy had this. Diddy had like a whole pharmacy of illegal narcotics in his house. But Diddy never had anything for people to deal with the face, right? Anyway, that is enough to pull Combs Global into the forfeiture and make sure that if he's found guilty, they are getting nothing. Black Anonymous said, get some hot tea with honey and lemon. I ran out the house so late.
Y'all, I'm gonna let it go like right here. Somebody's talking. Keep rocking the news, Tisa. Yeah, Tisa straight up, girl. Lily Orchard. Hey, girl. Yeah, you're on Valentine TV. This is a reaction channel, but I'll let Tisa know. Oh. Yeah, Tisa, she don't like to hear no bad, she don't like that bad energy around her, but you can go on her channel and try to get it in there, put a super chat up and so she can see it. But that's for Ayasha. Yeah, this is Valentine TV. I thought I had it written big enough, so I maybe need to redo it. But thank you anyway for your comment. All right, y'all, please don't forget to, if you haven't subscribed to my reaction channel, please subscribe and also hit the like button on your way out because I'm about to end this stream. And if y'all want to see, because I never do Tisa's stuff, I wait for her live to end and then I will react to it. not, just so you know, I think she may be live right now, and I'm headed over there to see. So that's why I'm ending this one so quick. And I'm an honest person, so that's what I do. But I think Tisa's live now, y'all. So I'm about to end it, and I will see y'all later. Thank y'all for coming over. And oh, and by the way, thank y'all for all those subscribers I got. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. All right. I'll talk to y'all later, okay? All right. Bye, y'all.